What you got?
Guys, we are live now. We are absolutely live, all the way live. Hi, everybody. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Welcome to What You Need to Know. And it is a Thursday, February 18th, 2021. We talk about all of the issues that are affecting the African-American community. Mm-hmm. And as we learned from Tom Joyner, we super serve as much as we possibly can. That's what we do with the newsletter and here as well. Let me introduce people first. And every Thursday is George Wallace Day. George, hello.
Bonjour. How are you today? Oh, I feel good. I feel good all over. I got a shot today, y'all. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Oh, good. You got your second shot?
I can't.
Or was it to get rid of that nasty man's disease?
I can't. I can't remember whether it was my first or my second. That's why we have a pharmacist on today to see how does this work.
And let us say hello to that pharmacist. Also a wonderful stand-up comedian. Hello, LeVar Walker. How are you?
How are you doing? I'm very happy to be here. I'm so excited when George called me and told me I could be on the show. So very excited, very happy to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And just so you know, George Wallace did say you were going on, but our executive producer, Yolanda Starks-White, who knows a thing about comedians, has called you one of her favorites. So welcome aboard. We absolutely appreciate that. Wow. And one of my new favorites is a young man with a plan. His name is Quentin Brown. And we had Quentin on last night. And welcome back, Quentin. And wanted to get an update on warmtheblock.com.
Yes, how you doing today? How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good, Mr. Quentin.
Quentin sounds like he's about ready to go, like he's about to do his stand-up. Like, how is everybody doing tonight? But we're talking about what's going on and the great things that you are doing. LeVar, I don't know if you saw last night's show, but definitely I want you to know this young man. Quentin is a young man who has taken it upon himself to help people in need. For those of you who don't know, I am here in Texas. This is where I live. And the state of Texas is on the front page for the horrific winter week that we have had, not only with the snow and the frozen ice and sleet and what have you, but also now that we have lost power in virtually the entire state, it is slowly coming back on. We have also been under water alerts and people are being asked to boil their water when they do have it. Other people have found that they have frozen pipes, and then when it comes back, the devastation continues as the frozen pipes burst. Quentin has, as I said, has taken it upon himself, along with his group of friends, to help people in need. He has done this in the past and continues to do it now. Quentin is helping people in the state of Texas not only find places to live, but he's connecting people in order to get the things that they need, whether it means somebody acting as a courier to bring food to people that he puts up in hotels, that kind of thing. And Quentin, I'm just so really very excited to share your story and to have you on with us again tonight. Welcome back.
I appreciate your time, and I appreciate everybody's donations from last night as well. Just give you a little update of what we're dealing with right now. Most of the hotels that we had in Houston had issues with plumbing, busted pipes, power, no clean water, things like that. So we were offline in Houston as far as yesterday. We got a word from a lot of the hotels today. We were able to put people in hotels today in Houston. And then tomorrow we're going to be full-fledged with hotels there. We have worked with the corporate office at various hotel brands to do 40-room blocks and to include parking and food as well. Nice. So we're going to be able to do 40 to 50 rooms in Houston, 40 to 50 rooms in Dallas, all through our initiative.
That's great.
Man, that's great work. I can't believe you're doing this. This is such a great thing. You're giving back to the community. We try to give back in laughs, but you're really giving back in services and shelter and food. You just said that's just awesome, man. God bless you.
Quentin has also given people an opportunity to volunteer their time, and people have given their vehicles and they're transporting people. They're bringing food or they're taking people to places, and he's told the stories about that. And we're just trying to get the word out. I hope we don't overload you, Quentin, with people making requests. But I'm just so, like I said, I'm just very excited and proud of the work that you have done, that you've taken upon yourself. Explain to people who may not have seen it last night how this all started. Quentin, we can't hear you.
He's on mute.
Yeah.
I think
we
have audio
muted?
issues here.
There you go.
There you go. Okay. Quentin.
I think he's
Yes.
frozen.
Okay, so now we can hear you. Would you tell us how this all got started for you during the hurricane in Florida?
It started with Hurricane Irma. I noticed that the prices for the hotels were going up to extremely large amounts. They went from $550 upwards of $720 for a Courtyard or a Fairfield Inn, and I knew that was going to be a problem for a lot of people, especially if they had to seek refuge in the state of Georgia. They already had to drive anywhere from 6 to 8 hours just to get to Atlanta. I mean, I saw a lot of Jeeps with literally in Mercedes-Benz with tanks of gas just stored in their trunks or in the back seats. Yeah. The car filled with their dogs and whatnot. And I just knew I had to step in and help out people as much as I can.
And so you took it upon yourself to put your credit card down and to block these rooms off and to get rooms for people who are coming from Florida to Atlanta. And you did that, and now you're continuing that. You saw the news and you heard from people perhaps in the state of Texas, and you and a small group of friends got together and are doing this week, right? Okay, you're muted again. I wonder what happens.
I started this initiative. I am not sure.
No, you're good. You're good.
I started this initiative by, okay. I started with just a post on Facebook saying, hey, I'm booking 10 rooms in Dallas. I'm booking 10 rooms in Houston. If anybody needs them, just contact me through a DM, that was a direct message. And then all of a sudden, 40 requests come in, 50 requests come in, people needing this thing, people tagging it, their friends or whatnot. And eventually people started donating money, and then they started joining on board as well to assist with the effort. Some of the key people in Dallas, one of my guys named Josh David, Jada Davis, and another guy named Terrell Hope, who are single-handedly helping out with this effort. And we have a lot of other people that are drivers, picking up food from the Costco's, picking up food from the different grocery stores and driving there. And we're also picking people up at any time of the night to bring them to a hotel. Last night, we actually brought someone back around 2:30 in the morning to check into the hotel that was already ready for them.
Okay.
Wow.
How do you know who is and who is not actually really qualified to accept your offer? Because I know it's going to be crazy. A lot of people just want in them. I know they need a place to stay. The judgment. How do you figure out who's really needs the room?
Well, right now we're just going off natural energy. We're talking to you, asking you what's your situation. If you have kids, do you have a pet? Is it a situation where you just don't want to be in the house because you don't have no water? Or is it a situation where your ceiling is, coming down? Naturally, we can tell. And we want, people are being authentic right at this moment. We haven't had anybody try to just preload or anything like that. And because I've been doing this and other people have been doing it for a while, we know kind of when people are just going for a free ride.
Right.
Yes.
So the vetting process is more based upon your instinct and knowing what the situation is for people and putting them in the place they need to be.
Right. I mean, people calling, crying, and sending messages multiple times. You're able to have you use your discernment to find out if somebody really, really needs help. And most likely, they have had 2 or 3 friends contact me various different ways through my cell phone or through Twitter or through Instagram to find and get their friend taken care of. Yeah. But we're going through the list right now as we speak to try to put people in more places. And if they're at home, get food delivered to their home, or if they just need a ride somewhere or things of that nature.
Yeah, I can't impress upon people enough what the situation is like. And if you see it on television and you see people who have been frozen out of their homes, their pipes have burst. If you see people who have been days upon days without heat. What you see, it's far worse in many cases than what you're seeing on television. And it is a drastic situation. And Quentin, you're doing a great job. Want people to go to warmtheblock.com, or you can catch you on social media at warmtheblock. And people can donate. They can also, if they are in that situation where they need help, they can contact you that way as well. Correct?
Yes. Right. Also, if you're a provider, well, a lot of things that we're finding right now is that people are having busted pipes. They need general contractors. They need people to come and do plumbing. We're looking for plumbers to work with us, because we're going to identify them to make sure that they don't price gouge our community.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
nice.
That's wonderful.
That's nice. That's nice. That's very nice.
This is so awesome. I'm in awe of what you're doing for the community. This is like really big. And Sybil, you're in Texas right now. We don't know what you guys are going through. It must be a lot of calls there. I mean, everybody's out, right? Everybody.
Yeah. Well, some of us have been blessed, George, and have not had the lights out or the water situation. And that truly is a blessing. But checking on our friends who are going through this, and you just don't know until they tell you, because here's the other thing, you guys, we're also going through the pandemic. And we're in the winter time. So there are people who are sick with coronavirus, or they have some other virus, the flu or pneumonia or whatever, in a house that doesn't have heat, or they're in a house where the pipes have burst, and then you have the deluge of water. It's a confluence of the most awful events you could possibly think of. And so please check on your people, and let's get a way to help them as much as we possibly can. And that's what you're doing. Maurice Rouse says, God is working through you, young man. Thank you. Because Ted Cruz could learn a lot from you. But wait, he doesn't care. So sad.
We're going to have to quarantine Ted Cruz and let me come in and finish the work for Texas.
You know what? If you are willing to come and run against him, I am with you. Whatever it takes for you to come in, get him out, and put you in place. And let's not stop there. Let's go with the governor as well. I'm just saying.
Just get everybody out. Get everybody out. Texas is going to be blue. Texas is going blue.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
There's a lot of different organizations.
Say again, Quentin.
I said it's a lot of different organizations that we're combining efforts for. And we want to get the word out. We want people to volunteer. We want people to donate, because one thing about it, these people are not going to be in a hotel just for 3 days. They're going to be here upwards of 3 weeks, and we want to make sure they have a place, that's warm. And one of the things the other thing is they're going to be out of work.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Quentin, we're going to stay in touch with you and get updates from you as well as using all of our we just lost Quentin, using all of our social media to help. That's Quentin Davis, and that is warmtheblock.com or at warmtheblock. And he is, and I want to thank Coy Malone, our social activist, for putting him in touch with us, as well as our friend Jada Davis. And if you do subscribe to the What You Need to Know newsletter, look for an article in our Black Business Spotlight on Jada tomorrow in Friday's issue.
That is such a great program, Sybil. That is such a great. I see it growing and growing and growing. It probably will never stop growing. So many people are homeless, and that during these days with the storms, and just assisting people to have no place to go. I just think that's great. And he has the people that are, what do you call it, like the Home Depot, I'm sure, getting involved and donating their time. And he just asked about plumbers. He's going to need electricians and everything.
Right.
And there are people out there to help and give their time back. That is awesome. That's awesome.
Right. That's right. George, we were not able to give you your proper introduction. And so we would like to do that today. Normally we just say, here's George, but we are aware of a different way to introduce the one and only George Wallace.
And hello, everybody. It's George Wallace.
Shout out none other than the legendary George Wallace, man. Dude, This is a stand-up. You don't get no doper than George Wallace on stage, ripping the stage, got jokes for days. And again, he's one of these guys that, again, as a young stand-up, you saw him on all these talk shows back in the day. He was always funny. He was always dynamic. He was always witty and ahead of the time. And so, the thing about him is that it's not a moment where George Wallace is not ready to give you something to laugh about. That's what I feel. And so he's built a dynamic career, had one of the longest running standing shows in Las Vegas. He's legendary, one of the funniest people in the world. Check him out, y'all. George Wallace, one of ours. Go get a legend some love.
Whoa, I didn't know you was gonna do that, Sybil. That's nice.
No, you knew she was gonna do that. You probably told her to do it. I'm sure you told her to do that.
Now listen, ladies and gentlemen,
don't you start.
Guest tonight, we got a young comedian just starting out in the business, maybe 10, 15 years. He's trying to learn how to do comedy. As you can see, he's testing his mic out while he's on a national show. He doesn't have sense enough to know. I told him this is professional, Sybil, and he has to listen to me. You're on a professional show now. You're with Sybil Wilkes. We've done radio for probably 40, 50 years combined, and now you're on with people. You got an audience here that never heard of you, but I got to be honest, they will hear of you because you really are funny. I just got to tell you that. That's why
I'm very impressed to be here with Sybil, not you. Okay, let's just get that out in the clear. All right, Sybil is the professional.
Everybody that's listening, you see what I have to go through. This is the only person, Sybil, I have ever met in my life. He introduced me on stage. I'd never seen him in my life. And after the show, we went outside and we talked in the parking lot for 3 hours. The only person that ever insulted me within 1 hour, he looked at me and said, "Mr. Wallace, you did a great show, but I just got one question for you. How long does it take you to screw in your teeth?" He said that the first. I don't even know who the hell this guy is. And not only would he do that, Sybil, we talk about everything, and every 15 minutes he says, "Mr. Wallace, can you answer me? How long does it take you to screw in your teeth?"
Right now, thank God George has good Wi-Fi. That's why they look so white. Now, if the bars change, the teeth will get dim.
These are newer teeth. The first one I had were a little larger, but I'll tell you what. And
he had them shaved. Yeah, they had the problem. You're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, me? Your mama. You punk your mama. Yeah, they were
with your punk ass. But I'll tell you what, he is so funny. I don't even know how to do it. But you know me, I've been in the business for a long time. I could always come back, and I had to tell him at the end of the evening, you know what? If you were half as funny on the stage as you are here in the parking lot, you might be somebody. Uh-huh.
Just me.
And then he'll tell you about it. Then all of a sudden we went to Black something up in Massachusetts. What was that called up there?
The Martha's Vineyard. It was the
Black Film Festival, right?
Yeah, the Black Film Festival.
That's in the summertime. The summertime up there at Martha's Vineyard, right?
Yep. Well, all the bougie Black people come.
Right.
All the rich and bougie Blacks.
Sybil, have you ever been there?
I've been amongst the bougie Blacks. Yeah,
they were all rich. They were all rich and bougie. It was terrific. It was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. It was anything like that. So many Blacks. The Blacks were doing amazing.
Obama was there. Everybody you can think of.
Yeah, they was there.
Obama was there. The richest Black people that I didn't even know that many Black people in America that's who goes there. Matter of fact, that's why most Black people don't know. It's kind of like the Jack and Jill Club.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
The East Coast, yeah.
No, they come from all over the world.
But I'm saying where it's located is like the Jack and Jill of America meeting for adults.
Well, it's funny because it's for Black people, but it's located in an area where there's nothing but white. It's in Massachusetts. You got to get on a plane and
Martha's
get on a
Vineyard,
boat.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you got to take the ferry and all of that stuff and for us to get back on the boat to go that place is, you know,
and they only let us come 1 weekend in a month. The no black people allowed in Massachusetts.
Well, you know what? I want to give a shout out to our friend Damon Williams, who does the comedy up there in the summertime.
Yeah.
And it's for
Damon Williams.
That's
yeah.
why we did that.
And LeVar, is he our home? Are you our homeboy? You're from Chicago?
I'm originally from Chicago, South
You don't
Side
claim it,
Chicago. No.
Where?
I went to Simeon. I grew up in
You
Chatham.
were a Simeon boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I went to Simeon in the '90s.
Okay.
It was horrible.
What
You
does
know,
that
it was
mean?
bad. Okay,
That mean
when
it's
I
rich?
was
Let me
in Simeon,
just-
it was terrible.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I went to Simeon in the '90s, and then when I got out of high school, I went to Xavier University, and that's where I finished pharmacy school.
And tell people that we call George Dr. Wallace, but you really are a doctor.
Yes, I really, yeah, mine is
He's
real.
not a real drug. He's a drug
As
dealer.
you can see it. You guys can see it in the back. Yeah, you can see it
You
up
got
there.
the degrees to prove it.
Yes, I do.
Hey, Sybil, you notice they were at his house and not at his office.
He got a doctor in being a fool.
Right.
That's what his doctor is.
What your parents say,
Yeah.
he's an educated fool. That's all he is.
That's
an
what he
educated
is.
fool. Yeah. Matter of
That's
fact,
right.
we came up with a T-shirt like that, didn't we, Lamar? Educated fool or something like
We
that.
did.
Yeah.
I just. Yeah.
You can't be talking to everybody while you're doing
I'm
our show.
sorry. It's my wife. Okay,
I don't
it's
give
my
a
wife.
damn who it is. You on TV with me.
Oh, she
Yeah.
looking. That's George Wallace. that
Put
said
on,
that,
put
man.
on,
I
put
didn't
on.
say it. You better watch it.
Hey, Sybil,
You better watch it. Hey,
his
she a
wife.
firecracker. She from Louisiana. She don't play now. I'm telling you.
So everybody needs to know. Tell us, you are a legal pharmacist, and
That's right.
you prescribe medicine every day. And I'm sure you get some funny people in there, especially now during the pandemic. Do you give out the injections also, sir?
Yes, I do. I give shots. I do flu shots, pneumonia shots, tetanus shots.
Do you have the COVID vaccine yet?
Yeah, I've gotten mine. I mean, they're just rolling them out right now to like nursing homes, facilities like Delta, FedEx, trying to get them all to the frontline workers. And then this week they should be rolling out to the public. Probably Monday. You'd probably be able to go to most stores and get this shot.
That's so good.
So LeVar, you had your first round.
I've had both. I'm finished. I'm complete.
Oh. And so you and George are complete. George, you
Yeah.
I
remember
got my
that you had
second
the
shot
first
today.
one?
I got my
Okay.
second shot today, and it was. You know what? I want to encourage all of African American people that have a little doubt in their head. Go ahead and get this vaccine because you don't want to be. I know somebody already said they didn't want to get it, and now they're sick. You don't want to be like, just get it, no matter what. I'm taking a chance on science. I'm sticking with. I almost said Dr. Fauci because I don't like him. But I'm sticking with him on his plans. You know why I don't like him, LeVar, Sybil? Because he knew at this time a year ago, he knew exactly what was happening, and he should have stood up against Trump and told the truth. How do you lower your integrity and not tell the truth? Same thing with that lady named Dr. Burke. She said Trump was holding up a charge that she'd never seen before.
Right,
and then when they did the thing about take the Clorox, why couldn't they just stand up and just go, no, that is not true? They should have said that right then. That is not true. Don't be all happy now because you're working with Mr. Biden. He should have said that before. So a lot of people died because of that, because he could have stood up and told the truth also. And that's my little.
And so you bring up a good point, and this is something I'm sure, LeVar, you have had to deal with in your life in terms of the integrity of your profession and telling the people the truth. Did you have that same sense that George did when Dr. Fauci was talking about this a year ago?
Well, I mean, we know Trump got rid of the pandemic response unit that was put in place by the Obama Biden administration. And I just think they just really dropped the ball. They didn't take it serious enough in the beginning and isolate it. You know what I mean? So like Ebola is starting to come back, and you just have to isolate it. You got to shut down those borders really quick. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of misinformation, and unfortunately our government failed us to a large extent, because we went through the swine flu and we didn't really, it wasn't mass chaos and they had to shut the world down. So,
and even like you mentioned, the return of Ebola, we had that too, and they managed to shut that down and to not have it spread as rampantly as it has with the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get from, getting all of those degrees and everything and being a doctor in pharmacy and pharmacology, I guess,
Oh man.
To getting to, standing up
Well,
on stage and having fun? 'Cause
well,
that's not a fun job.
honestly, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I come from a working class family, blue collar.
Mhm.
So I was always funny and cracking jokes with people, but I never
Mhm.
looked at entertainment as anything viable or real.
That's not a real job.
You know what I'm saying? So it always, people in grammar school say, man, you're going to be a comedian. You funny. And people always tell me I was funny. And I actually attempted comedy my first year in college. I came back home to Chicago. I was like 19. I went up to All Jokes Aside
Okay.
Mhm.
to
Oh,
Chicago, and they booed me. And I was like, this is not for me. And I didn't return to comedy until I was like in my last year of pharmacy school. So
mm.
Isn't that amazing that you got booed then and you're still getting booed and then you
no, I don't get. Hey, you better watch it. I don't get booed now, buddy. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is LeVar
Them days are
Walker.
long over. Those are long
LeVar
over.
Walker, one of the guys that I see coming up in the next few years. I think everybody will know. So you need to know he's a pharmacist, he's a drug dealer, he's a pusher, but you need to know he is absolutely flat out funny. And that's what I want.
And everybody watching this, y'all could watch me and George, because I've got a YouTube clip of us, me and you, when we were roasting each other. Yeah.
Oh, I
I got a
had
YouTube
that.
clip.
Oh, yeah.
We'll bring you
nice.
back. We'll bring you back on so you could do that, because it was pretty bad. So, but we went. We went to the Black Festival in Massachusetts where the blacks, and they put us Sybil. They put us up way out in the woods. I'm talking like, what do you call those horror flicks?
Yeah, Amityville horror-like places.
No, it was worse than that. There was no lights. It was in the country, and I couldn't take it. He'll tell you what I did. All the comedians were in one house. He'll tell you what I did. And tell him what I did, son.
He came downstairs with his shirt and no bottoms on, and we all got startled. And I said, Mr. Wallace, do you know that you don't have your bottoms on? And he said, what? He just looked at me. And it was awkward. Like all of us got quiet because we didn't know if he was like going through dementia, having some type of mental breakdown. And then it was at that point Damon Williams threw him a large towel, and he wrapped the towel around him, fortunately. And then he left that day with the towel around him. He thought the towel was his pants. So this was like he just walked out the house with the towel, but he had a shirt and towel, like what he got on right now. That's what he had on, but he didn't have bottoms on. And we just didn't know what to do. And then somebody came to pick him up, and he went and got him a hotel, his rich hotel. He just left.
Of course.
Yeah.
Tell him what kind of house you were in, and he told me all the comedians.
It looked like a slave house. It looked like a slave house. It looked like where Kunta Kinte and Kizzy was living on Roots. That's exactly what this place looked like.
So Sybil, I showed up and I was there, and then he walked on. Went, oh my God, just this guy's here. I'm out. And sure enough, I think I stayed there like 6 hours, and I was gone.
And you dropped trowel and left.
Gone. And I didn't even know. I wasn't trying to be sedity or anything like that.
He was definitely trying to be bougie. You stop this.
But what did you tell me? What did you tell me when you saw me the next
I told you if I had the money, I'd have left there too. That's exactly what I said. I said I'd have got the hell out of here too.
I was surprised when he said that. He said, if I had the money, I'd get the hell out of here too. Because it was like
I think Myra J said the same thing.
Yeah, she stayed at that house too. And I don't think they locked the doors. So I'm thinking anybody could come in here and kill us. I'm sorry.
No, they don't lock the doors. They haven't had no murders out there.
It was a good time to start, though. They come in the house and would kill us all.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
we were the only black people in that it's so dark I couldn't even see me. That's how dark it was. Really
I think all the white people might leave the island.
They probably do.
They do
for that 2-3 weeks. LeVar, let me ask you this. I was told to ask you, if T.I. were describing this situation, how would he describe it?
Well, did this here. First of all, there were certain atrocities and things of that nature which caused us to colossalize, and not only to colossalize those things, but we had to begin to transgress and see certain transitions and things of that nature, which caused us to begin to indubitably believe in ourselves. You did that. You did that.
Now, I'm from Georgia, so I understood everything he was saying. As you notice, we went to the same dentist.
It depends on what you believe in, Mr. Wallace. It all depends.
Listen, he had me so when he was speaking in court and everything, going, this guy's smarter than I think he is, or do I not know what he's saying? And, but he jumped on my ass. He jumped on me, Sybil. He came to Las Vegas and he jumped on. He said, I know you got on because I was talking about anybody stupid enough, you're already under the courts and you driving around Hollywood with a gun. Yeah, totally ignorant. And that's what I said, totally ignorant. And he and his wife, they jumped on my ass when they said, but I love you though, I still love you. So he can take a joke. He can take a joke.
I thoroughly appreciate that, Mr. Wallace.
yeah, we think you did a great job too when we had the what was the riots here in Atlanta, the semi-riots here in Atlanta, when you went up and spoke with Killer Mike and the mayor. You did a good job, T.I. Are you going to continue with the character? Or do you know how to do
keep going on with the kid?
You really don't know how to do.
No, I'm not going to keep going on with the kid. Hey, let me tell you something, Mr. Wallace. You not about to get on my ass. Hey.
No, you didn't. Steve, let me ask you something.
Get on my ass.
Steve, why won't you return my call?
Right on my country ass. What'd you say?
Why won't you return my calls?
I tried to return your call. Okay? But you don't want to pick up the phone.
LeVar, when did you know, or when did you start doing voices? Like as a kid, did you do it to impersonate other people?
I don't really do them in my set a whole lot. I just be impersonating people, simple. And it just depends on the person. If I see him, I can hear him and I can get the voice.
That's brilliant. That's some of the hardest stuff, and people try, and they listen to the voices, and it doesn't always work out.
That is right, and I just can't believe with this current pandemic, I can't walk out the house. I can't go to bed.
I can't really cuss on there. I could really go in.
You can cuss on here. J. Anthony Brown was on last night. He always cusses. You can cuss a little bit if you want to.
What the fuck are these white people?
You can't say, hey. You can cuss, but you can't say fuck.
You don't say I can't cuss. Man, I'm trying to do the impersonation.
No, you can. I'm sure Huggy Lowdown has the record on the F word. So.
Oh my God.
You are
now,
something.
did y'all know one of the best things about George Wallace and his comedy show? You know he a magician too.
He's a magician.
Listen, because he was bombing. He started bombing, and we was on stage at Martha's Vineyard, and he started bombing. It was going down. The man pulled a rabbit out of his jacket. Look at this, y'all. Look at it. I got a whole rabbit. Look at the rabbit. I got a rabbit.
It's stupid.
The rabbit ran off. It didn't come back. It just left.
Listen, we try to lighten it up.
That saved his show.
That saved his show.
Hey, look, I got a standing ovation with the rabbit, right?
I think it did a lady in the back. The lady hollered when it got back there, but you did it.
LeVar, what is that like when you watch somebody, for your whole life, watching somebody do comedy all your life, and then you meet him and you work with him. What kind of feelings, what kind of thoughts go through your head when you look and think about meeting and working with George Wallace?
Man, I remember seeing George Wallace at my grandmama's house on Johnny Carson when he had the gym. Right. You had a long curl. That curl was all the way down there. He looked like George was on Johnny Carson looking like Randy Watson. That's who he looked like on Johnny Carson. Hey y'all, I'm George Wallace. My first joke here. If the joke don't work, I'm gonna pull a rabbit out of my jacket.
He was doing it back then too.
Yeah, he doing it back then. And Johnny Carson, we got a comedian here, George Wallace.
With that pencil, yes.
Yep, with the pencil. He ain't let him sit on the couch though. He ain't let him.
You didn't get the.
He ain't get the couch.
Oh, let's make something perfectly clear. All African American and Black comedians, Johnny Carson did not like us. He did not like us.
He only liked two Black people. That was Bill Cosby and Sammy Davis.
And Richard Pryor, because they were in there. Exactly. As you notice, back in the day, that was Sanford and Son. They were both on the same network, NBC. And I don't think Red Fox ever hosted the show. I think he went on a few times, but he never hosted the show. But he didn't like us at all. I went to the Tonight Show with What's Happening, Shirley Hemphill.
Okay.
She was number one on ABC, number one.
Mm-hmm.
He what do you call it? He bounced her.
Bumped her.
Yeah, bumped her. And she said, fuck Johnny Carson. She went crazy in the back. She said, fuck Johnny Carson. And she never went back, but we knew something was wrong then. Then I knew the leader of the band, the manager, Doc his manager. And they said, well, we found out that he really doesn't care for us that much. As you can, if you look back, only those three people hosted the show in Blackness. Maybe a few others, but very seldom you went over to the couch if you were not already a superstar.
Right.
You were not Senator Junior.
That's an interesting thing to bring up, George, and especially in terms of giving it from your perspective and one of the leading Black comedians for these many years and talking and telling us the truth about that.
Yeah, if you look back, you're gonna go, oh yeah, why didn't they bring up more Black comedians on the show? Franklin, how many times did Franklin and Jai do the show? I don't remember him being on the couch.
And J. Anthony Brown tells a great story about how he wrote for years to get them to come and see his act and to audition to be on the show and never got a response. But you would probably say you could understand why, but it's just, it's one of those things where you just wonder about how those things were handled. And it's not a surprise, but it's very disappointing.
Systemic racism. As you look back, sometimes I look back at, I was talking yesterday to somebody about not the Jeffersons, Jimmy J.J. Walker. What's the name of that show? Good Times.
Good Times.
Systemic racism. Every time they made a show for us, why did they have to live in such a dirty house? Why? That's how white people look.
Good Times that house wasn't dirty.
The walls were dirty. The pots were. It was tight. Yes, it was. If you look at it.
Well, what about the Jeffersons?
Well, the Jefferson was the first show to move on up, but you didn't see any other Black people living in that building. That's how white people looked at us. You had one Black person that lived upstairs. Well, it
was Helen.
It was Helen, yeah. But let's show how all of those producers looked at us back in the day.
So, George, let me ask you this. Have you had that conversation with your friend Norman Lear?
Not yet, but...
yeah, because you're supposed to be working with him.
I am working with him, and right now I'm getting paid. I ain't gonna ask him much for that.
Come on, George. It was a different time. Come on.
Hey.
It's a different time, George.
What about Sybil? That's my partner. We got to make this team. You ain't got long. And, don't cough around and don't cough. I got about 2 more. He's 98 years old, so I got to be as nice as I can.
You got to make that sunshine.
Because when we're going to do a deal, Norman Lear just flat out ask him, "We got a deal?" And when he shows up, everybody, not just the segment producer, anything, the president of Sony, they all come down.
Of course.
They all listen to him because he's just got a history of. And for him to want to work with me, I wanted to bring back Sanford and Son. He said, "No, we can't do Sanford and Son. You're going to do you." Because I had worked with him originally. He had a show called 804 Houses Street. Me, Jennifer Lewis, the next door neighbors to the All in the Family.
To the Bunkers.
Yeah, and I chose my own show. to go with CBS. It was called Tall Hopes. I want to bring
remember
this
that.
show back. I want to bring the show back because Terrence Howard was my son, and Anna Marie Horsford was my wife. So
which is funny. Yeah. Just
Wait,
to
that's
add
what
a
I
little-
want to do.
wait. Hold on. How you get Terrence Howard from you and Anna Marie Horsford?
That's why I want to bring the show back because Netflix is doing
think she
shows like
cheated
only
on
6
you.
episodes.
If Terrence Howard was your son, and that she definitely cheated on you in that
And
show.
so we had another little young son who was very, very articulate and pronounces all of his T's and everything like that. And I think it would be a nice show to bring back like on Netflix. Only 6 episodes. There's a lot of people that done shows that didn't make it. And I said, you know what, this would be a good show to bring back and let people enjoy it. And Anna Marie Horsford, we're still here. So still around, people like that.
When Terrence Howard
You're
played,
not going to explain that Terrence Howard being your son with Anna Marie Horsford.
Stuff like that, and Terrence Howard, he owes me $500, and he's gonna pay me my money.
who?
Terrence Howard.
When he played your son, how did he call you? Was he like, Daddy, man? Daddy, man. Hey, man. Daddy, man. Man, I need help, Daddy. Man. I don't know why.
You're crazy. You are crazy.
Let me ask you guys. My producer is saying we got to talk about why we're here, and that is to talk a little bit of news.
Are you kidding me? It's 7 point. We didn't do anything. It's 7:42.
Yes,
you have to come back. Can you come back, LeVar?
George, can you humor me to let me do this for a second?
Then let Sybil do her job.
Okay, thanks.
Well, what I was talking about.
A couple of things I do want to bring up. First of all, for decades upon decades, Black farmers have been disenfranchised. This has been a situation in which they have had their land taken away. They have had massive debts amount without getting any help from the USDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And this has been and you're talking about inequalities. This has been one systemic racism that has been rampant throughout the Agriculture Department. And year after year after year, you hear stories about settlements with the farmers and the USDA at billions of dollars, right? And still the Black farmers have not gotten their just due. Well, 2 of our Black senators, 2 Black Democratic senators, men who are Cory Booker and, of course, the newly elected Raphael Warnock, have presented 2 historic bills. One is called the Justice for Black Farmers Act, and the $5 billion Emergency Relief for Farmers of Color Act. And this is to address the greatest challenges, including debt, access to credit, acquiring and holding on to land. I just want people to keep this in mind and to really salute the efforts of John Boyd. He is the head of the Farmers Union, Black Farmers Organization, and he's been fighting for years. He was on the Joyner Show with us and talked about this. And we have to keep a light on what is going on, and especially. Now, dig this. The man who has been nominated by Biden to be the Department of Agriculture Secretary is Tom Vilsack. He was also Barack Obama's secretary for 8 years. For 8 years, he did this. And John Boyd points and others point to the fact that he did this for 8 years without settling and making good on his promises to help Black farmers. And this is also the guy that made Shirley Sherrod, remember her, resign when there was a whole question about something that she said on tape before the NAACP. It was Breitbart that sent this recording out. They had altered it and it was not correct. And so he had her resign. She resigned. And so all of these things are coming together and in questioning Tom Vilsack and if he is the right man for the job. But in the meantime, these 2 Black senators have come together and are really trying to help Black farmers. And if you think about the fact that in 1920, there were close to 1 million Black farms in this country. And by 2000, we're looking at less than 50,000 Black farms. That's the kind of decrease that we're talking about. And it's unjust. And it's something that we need to keep an eye on because a lot of young people are trying to change that and own in their family. They've lost their family farms, but trying to start their own farms. And so,
well, I think the secretary now knows what he needs to do. It's kind of like making this different decision. Times have changed. Even though Biden is the one when she said, I'm the little black girl. You stop. Biden made a
You're right.
change, and
Yeah.
maybe he can make a change. And I think he will make a change.
He has promised a diverse cabinet. So we'll see. Now, this is what I wanted to talk to you about, LeVar, because here is a story about Dr. Princess Dinar. She is the first Black female program director at the Tulane University of Medicine. She was dismissed from her post last week, and it has sparked outrage on social media. Her firing is also igniting conversation about racism and discrimination by physicians of color in the field of medicine. And it comes about 5 months after she filed a lawsuit against Tulane, alleging fellow faculty members persistently discriminated against her and created a hostile work environment. And they said that she was unfair because she was really supporting and fostering the Black medical school students. And I'm wondering, I know you went to Xavier, but certainly in the area of medicine, and there may have been some conversation on your part.
That's interesting that you say that, because I remember I had to do in your last year of pharmacy school, you do like a rotation, like you go like in the hospitals and stuff like that. And I was working at Charity Hospital, and we was on a rotation, and like I was like the only one or two of the only Black males. It was like mostly females and foreigners. And this white dude literally singled me out and said, I saw you talking. And I didn't say anything. And he like brought me in the office. You were talking. And I was just like, whatever, man. You know what I mean? It's like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to provoke me to kind of throw a wrench in it. But yeah, I mean, it exists. I mean, in healthcare, I don't working in healthcare. I've been a pharmacist for many, many years. If I've experienced, sometimes customers, but you get like a lot of, poor white trash, whatever. They might be a little racist, but I don't get mad. I'm not like whatever. You know what I mean? But
you don't short them on their pills or anything.
No, people are just, some people just have this issues, man. I deal with the public a lot. And so
you should have some chemicals in the back, like black, like me. Instead of giving them their prescription, you should give them medicine that will make them black.
That's funny. That's funny. I love that. Hey, what you gave me, man? Look at me. Look at him looking. What the hell? I gave me this for diabetes medication. I won't have what? You gotta be kidding me.
Go ahead, Sybil.
You gotta be kidding me.
The last story I want you guys to, and folks to take a look at, and hopefully go and subscribe to the What You Need to Know newsletter. The federal lawsuit has been filed against 2 Cincinnati police officers for an alleged attack on Brandon Davis, a 32-year-old Black man who is autistic. And he was walking home while Black in South Cumminsville, Ohio, February of 2019. And he was stopped on the street by these 2 officers, one male, one female. He was arrested and charged with being in a park after dark and resisting arrest. Now check this out. According to the lawsuit, he wasn't in a park. He did not resist arrest and was shoved into a fence while one of the officers dug his knee into his back. He also tased him 7 times over 2 minutes and began calling for his mother, who heard him. His mother heard him and came out. He was later acquitted, but now they are suing these 2 officers. So
they got away with it again.
Did they kill him?
No, but by some miracle, he yelled out for his mom, and he was close enough to home. His mother heard him, and came to his assistance. He was also acquitted of these charges. Yeah. And the officers were never disciplined, and they cite in the lawsuit that 70% of the Cincinnati Police Department's arrests are of Black people. 70%. And so this is from our.
That's in the news today. Something about so many Proud Boys and racist police officers are in our forces, and that's the problem with America. They still want to hold us down. Most of them hate us, which is horrible. And that's why I think we're going to see some new practices coming up with this administration.
Well, let's hope, George, because in their investigations about the insurrection, they're finding the connection between the police and members of the Proud Boys, like you said, and the Oath Keepers and things like that. So let us hope that they are able to. Guys, before I let you go, I do want to talk about our daily inspiration, and that's Yogi's Jewels. And so ask for you to close your mouth and open your ears, your heart, and your mind. And that, or as Chris Paul and Huggy Lowdown say, Yogi's Jules. You know, we do that every day.
Jules, yes. And before you leave, I want to tell LeVar, I'm on him. He's, as you can see, he's one of the funniest people in the world, right? He needs to learn from me. I was vice president of the world's largest outdoor advertising agency, making a lot of money back in the 70s. I want his ass out of the pharmacy, Sybil. I want him to take that giant step.
And it's coming. Listen, I'm on a big show. I got a big show coming out with the great Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer. I'll be on the show with Amy Schumer. It's going to be.
Is it a comedy? Is it one of her comedy specials?
It'll be terrific. No, it's not a comedy special. It's an actual show. It's a scripted series. I'm in six out of the 10 episodes, I believe. Nice. And
okay, that's cool. Congratulations.
This is going to be.
That is awesome.
So I hope you're able to walk out of that pharmacy and come down, bring yourself down. Who the hell you think you are up a little over other people because you back there in that pharmacy?
Well, no, dude, that's the pharmacies in the 70s, George. Have you been to a pharmacy in 2021? We are high level now.
Right there.
I am in my 70s.
Back in the 1970s, the pharmacists.
Well, wherever you are, come out of that store. Take that little white apron off and go.
I am, man. Okay. I'm out.
I'm just gonna stay on him until he's like the man.
Okay, please do.
Yeah.
Well, we wish. And do you have a title, a working title of that show yet, or do we just look for the next Amy Schumer project starring LeVar Walker?
Yeah, it'll be called Life and Beth.
Why are you looking over to the side? You got
I was looking because I changed the name. I was looking at. I got scripts here, brother. I was looking at my scripts. Okay.
Because I want you to be the man. Because I'm going to retire. I'm going to become Kevin Hart's personal shopper, and I want you to take my.
Whoa, you coughing, buddy? Wait a minute.
No, be careful, George. You just had your second shot.
Hold
on, I ain't trying to catch nothing.
That's a cough from laughter.
Laughter.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
I don't know whether we ever talked about it or not, but if somebody steal from me, I already fired my assistant yesterday because they were working overtime. He wanted to order a pizza. I told him it was okay, but he put pepperoni and sausage on it. I just ordered. I okayed a cheese pizza, not the all the $10. In any case, I don't even know what I'm talking about. You got me crazy here today. But thank you for being on, and Yogi, thank you for your jewels. Now let me tell you about my jewels.
No. We've all seen you take your pants off, George. That's enough.
When he said that story, I'm gonna go. I hope Sybil doesn't bring that up because I'm known for dropping my pants.
Around the world, LeVar, South Africa, Martha's Vineyard, you name it. George has done that. Yeah.
But when I drop my pants, I always have that rabbit. Always have the rabbit.
But the rabbit dies, George. The rabbit dies. Hey, LeVar, I'm going to ask you, homie, to sign up to our newsletter. If you go to SybilWilkes.com, and it's absolutely free, the subscription. If you go to SybilWilkes.com, give us your name and your email address, and we'll have that in your email box every morning. And also, homie, ask you to come back because we love good comics from Chicago. Really appreciate it.
Will you do that? Will you come back? Will you come back? Will you come back, please?
Yeah, all the time, anytime.
Well, we don't want you back all the time, but will you come back some of the time?
Yeah, whenever you're ready. All right.
This guy's got some funny stories like you won't believe.
It's about time to soak. It's almost time to soak them teeth. It's almost time now.
Hey guys, I think this is what you were trying to do, George.
Yes, the Bulltwit is in its second printing, and the copies came in today, Bulltwit and whatnot. And then you need to get a copy of that and try to peek from your eye. And next week we'll get more into the book.
Hey guys, while y'all looking at that, y'all can buy my hat. This is the new official LeVar Walker snapback hat, green underbill, snapback with the LW. It's like LA, but LW.
Green under the bib went out like 10 years ago. It's red now.
No, this is fly, okay?
And LeVar, can we follow you, LeVar?
Yeah, please follow me, LeVar Walker. You can cash at me right there, LeVar Walker.
Hey, put your hat up again. Let me see that. What's that hat again? Let me see that hat one more time.
That is the LW. Let me take my. You see,
We're all W's here.
We're all LW. Yeah.
Look at me.
That,
Look at me.
there you go. Just bragging. That LW. I don't want to be like Jonathan Brown, but it stands for Little Weenie. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm George Wallace.
Wow.
Okay, George.
He did me earlier.
You're right. Hey, you guys, thanks so much. We appreciate you. Everybody, please be careful. Please reach out and check on your folks who are affected by these storms. It could be not only Texas, but it is in other places as well. Please be careful.
And don't be like Ted Cruz.
And don't be like Ted Cruz or the governor, Walker. Yeah, so we appreciate Governor Abbott. Yeah, so thanks. Thank you so much, LeVar. Great to have you on, and you're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
We ask you to.
I can't wait to do it again.
I can't stand him. It'll be in the winter because it's going to be a cold day for your ass come back. You can believe that.
No, see, that's how you don't do me. See.
Before we go, we'd like you to take a look at this and please pay attention to what is going on in the African American community and help us in search of an answer regarding Alzheimer's.
He can tell you about their first dance, but he can't remember my name. I'm his daughter.
Half of all black families are impacted by Alzheimer's, but we don't know why. At HSC, we are investing in a new research study to find solutions for your family. To join the research study, visit blackalzbrainstudy.com or call 817-735-2963.